Hey guys, it's Sami, and this is Pro Wrestling Unlimited as we are here on the 1st of November 2019 to talk about everything that went down tonight on Friday Night Smackdown. And tonight's Smackdown was a freaking awesome, amazing, great show. Now, if you guys haven't been following the news today, most of the WWE main roster is stuck in Saudi Arabia. When they tried to leave Riyadh, Saudi Arabia around 3 a.m. local time, the plane couldn't go. Couldn't leave. They said, sorry, you ain't going anywhere. We don't know how long it's going to be. And all day we've been monitoring the situation, trying to figure out exactly what's going on. And WWE put out a statement saying, hey, we're going to try our best. A lot of the guys and girls, a lot of the guys and the girls that did go are stuck in Saudi Arabia still. We'll see what we can do with SmackDown. And tonight's SmackDown with that NXT invasion kicked ass. Here's the question I want to ask. What was this show gonna be if the roster came back on time? Would this show have been as good? Would we have gotten NXT superstars? Because I don't think we would have, because I heard early this morning that because they needed stuff for this show, they flew in a bunch of NXT wrestlers. So I'm under the assumption that this NXT stuff that we got that we got tonight wouldn't have happened. And I just thought what we got tonight was awesome, great, amazing, blow away. Almost blow away. It was that good. Soja, I know. Corbin versus Reigns. I know. But I'm just saying, I really, really liked SmackDown tonight. And for anybody that tries to say, oh, well, look, when they bring up people from NXT, the crowd doesn't know who they are. They're not stars. They can't get over on the main roster. We see it all the time. Lacey Evans, she didn't get over on the main roster. EC3, he didn't get over on the main roster. Heavy Machinery's barely getting over on the main roster. But look at tonight. They loved everybody. From Shayna Baszler to Riddle and Keith Lee to Tommaso Ciampa, Adam Cole, baby. I mean, it was just great. It was just a great night. Triple H declared war on Raw and SmackDown. So, here's my other question. Is Survivor Series now Raw and SmackDown versus NXT? Or is it still Raw versus NXT versus SmackDown? That is my next question. And I don't know yet. Triple H made it sound like that. But when they hyped this all up yesterday at Crown Jewel, they basically said it was going to be triple threats. It was going to be Raw versus NXT versus SmackDown. So we'll see how it all does go. But let's run down who's with us here in the live chat. As we do got Matt Makes. We've got Luke Might, Henry McKenna Cavallo, Kristen McNutt. We've got Greg Brown, Nelson, Chris S82. So SmackDown started off tonight with Brock Lesnar coming out. And Brock Lesnar came out. Him and Paul Heyman were basically just like, you see what happened yesterday? Brock kicked ass. Heyman know that Lesnar, he was furious. And he's still furious. He was furious going into the match. And now coming out of the match, he's furious for other reasons. He said he's furious because of what Rey Mysterio did. They showed footage of the actual match because the match was only like 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Then they showed footage of Rey Mysterio attacking Brock after the match with a chair. He said they went to Vince McMahon, the owner of the company, and asked that Brock have Rey Mysterio. And Vince told him, I can't do that. Sorry. No. And Heyman was like, but why? And Vince told him, because of the draft. Because Raw superstars can only appear for the USA Network. SmackDown superstars can only appear for Fox. Mysterio is a Raw superstar and can appear on a Fox show. So Heyman said, fine, you won't bring Rey Mysterio to SmackDown? Then we'll just go to Raw. Nobody can stop Lesnar, including the chairman of the board or a lawsuit. Then, Paul Heyman would go on to say that Brock Lesnar, he quits SmackDown. He quits Fox. He quits the Blue brand. We'll see you on Raw. So I don't know if Brock is going to be on this Monday's Raw or an upcoming Raw. So Heyman and Brock leave. They walk out of the arena. We see them walking through the back, and Brock goes to go one way, and Paul goes, nope, we got to go this way. So they walk away, and the camera pans over, and we see Triple H. And as we see Triple H, we then see Shawn Michaels, who, as always, is decked out in NXT gear. And then we move on to our first match of the night. For the SmackDown Live Women's Championship, it was Bayley with Sasha Banks against Nikki Cross, and this match was okay. I wouldn't call it horrible, but I wouldn't call it anything that great. So, Nikki Cross sent Bayley to the floor early with the tilt-a-whirl head scissors. She followed up with a drop kick through the ropes and a tornado DDT off the apron to the floor. After a commercial break, Cross was briefly in control, but Bayley took over after pushing her into the steps. Bayley missed a charge into the turnbuckle. Cross made a comeback and ran wild. She hit a splash in the corner and followed it up with a bulldog. Cross then hit a crossbody for a near fall. She set up the neck breaker, the spinning neck breaker that she does off the ropes, but Sasha Banks grabbed Bayley and stopped it from happening. Cross then knocked Banks off the apron, but Bayley hit her with a knee. Bayley then went to the top, went for an elbow, but Nikki Cross kicked out. Many thought that was the finish, including myself. I thought that could have been the finish. And so Nikki Cross kicks out. Cross then trapped Bayley in the ring skirt and nailed some forearms. Cross sent Bayley back into the ring and climbed to the top. The finish then came when Banks shoved Cross off the top rope as Bayley had the referee distracted. Bayley then hit a new move that I think she used to do when she was a heel on the Indies. I don't know the name. But she spiked Nikki Cross face first. If you know the name of this move, let me know in the live chat or the comments later. And she pinned her 1, 2, 3, retaining the Women's Championship. Henry Carvalho with a interesting comment in the chat. He says Vince didn't book the show tonight, probably, but he definitely was backstage. Vince booked this entire show. Vince was there. Vince left. So here's the thing with Vince. Everyone wants to blame Vince for leaving his talent stranded and coming home. Vince has his own plane. Vince doesn't fly with the rest of the talent. And so Vince left Saudi Arabia well before any of these issues occurred. And by the time Vince would have found out, he couldn't have gone back. What do you want him to do? Halfway through his flight, fly back? No. He's going to fly back to the States, go to Buffalo, and work. Put on the best show possible. From everything I heard tonight, Vince wrote and booked tonight's show. So I forgot to mention, kicking off tonight, we got a new commentary team for the night. It was Tom Phillips, Aiden English to start, and Renee Young. So after the women's title match, Sasha Banks is still at ringside. Nikki Cross is kind of beat down in the ring, and Bayley celebrating when all of a sudden Shayna Baszler appears. She shoves Sasha face first into the turnbuckle. Sasha gets laid out. She jumps in the ring, hits Bayley with a knee strike, beats Bayley down, shoves Nikki Cross out of the ring, and the crowd's going nuts chanting for NXT. She jumps out of the ring, grabs her belt, and leaves through the crowd. After a break, for some reason that I don't know why, Pat McAfee replaced Aiden English. It was actually a little better. So they sent it to the back where Kathy Kelly was interviewing Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn pointed out that there's a lot of NXT stars here tonight. He said if anyone from NXT tries to step to him, they're going to have a problem. And as he turned around, there was Matt Riddle and Keith Lee. Sami Zayn then pretended to be their friend, pretending to praise them in NXT. He said, hey, I'm one of you. They used to call me the heart and soul of NXT. He then said, I love NXT so much, look at this. And he rips open his jacket. And I think it was Matt Riddle goes, that's just a black shirt. And it was supposed to be an NXT shirt. He goes, oh, sorry. I ate some food earlier. I didn't want to get my NXT shirt dirty. It's in the car. I'll go get it. So he goes to walk off and he goes, hey, you don't got to follow me. I'm just going to go get my shirt. And they keep following him. And he's like, fine, you want to come with me? And he runs off. So then we see Sami Zayn appear on the stage. And Matt Riddle and Keith Lee are following him. They all get in the ring. And Matt Riddle and Keith Lee beat him down. Matt Riddle hits him with the ripcord knee. Matt Riddle hits him with the bro Derek. And Keith Lee hits him with a moonsault off the second rope. Crowd starts just chatting, bro. Loving these two guys. They then recap the Tyson Fury-Braun Strowman match from Crown Jewel, showing that Braun Strowman was basically knocked out and counted out, with Fury picking up the victory. So, next up we were supposed to get Miz TV with Miz interviewing Bray Wyatt. But of course, Bray's not there. So Miz comes out. And Miz comes out in his gear. So my first thought was, who's Miz wrestling? Because as we know, when Miz is not supposed to wrestle, he comes out in a suit. So they kind of gave it away that Miz was going to wrestle. And so Miz comes out there and he's pandering to the crowd. He's wearing a shirt that says Buffalo is awesome. And he shows some footage of Wyatt versus Rollins from Saudi Arabia. Miz noted that Wyatt was supposed to appear here tonight, but of course, can't happen. He then turns his attention to the people of NXT. He recaps Shayna Baszler earlier. So Miz is recapping what's happened so far with the NXT people. You know, Shayna Baszler, Matt Riddle, Keith Lee, and out would come Tommaso Ciampa. Ciampa wouldn't interrupt, come down to the ring, and the fans broke out in an NXT chant. Ciampa then said that Miz is supposed to be this is the must-see show. And Miz is supposed to be the must-see superstar, but he doesn't see it. He himself is what he calls the greatest sports entertainer of all time. Ciampa noted that he broke his neck for NXT, and Miz just plays as an actor. Miz mocked Ciampa and noted that he's heard of him for the last 15 years. Then, Miz would challenge Ciampa to a match. So, after the commercial break, we did get Tommaso Ciampa versus Miz, and I thought this match was pretty good. Miz had the early advantage, but missed a dropkick through the ropes. Ciampa took over and threw Miz into the ring steps. Ciampa slowed down the pace with a chin lock. Miz fired back and hit an inverted DDT for a near fall. Miz hit a series of running knees in the corner, but Ciampa hit a discus lariat. Miz fought back and attempted the figure four, but Ciampa fought out. Miz then clipped the leg of Tommaso Ciampa, and remember, Ciampa's had knee problems in the past. So Ciampa went for a powerbomb, but couldn't get it because the leg gave out. Miz then hit a DDT, and then he went for a crossbody, but Ciampa rocked him with a knee off that crossbody. Ciampa then hit the fairy tale ending and pinned Miz in the ring. 1, 2, 3. Tommaso Ciampa got a huge reaction after this match. I thought it was a really good match. Both guys worked really good together. And again, another victory for NXT. Commentaries push that this is a huge win for not just Ciampa, but the NXT brand. So, in the back, we see Daniel Bryan. He walks up to Triple H, and he was wondering what Triple H was doing here. Triple H noted, I was sitting home yesterday watching Crown Jewel, and Sean was too. And we saw the commercial play. Raw and SmackDown challenging NXT. So we thought we'd show up here tonight. And Daniel Bryan basically said, Triple H, you and me in the ring tonight. And Triple H is like, well, and as Triple H is saying this, Sean is slowly taking off his jacket. He goes, I didn't bring my gear with me. And they both look over at Sean, who took his jacket off, making you think that Sean is going to take the challenge. And he goes, oh, man, never mind, put that back on. It's cold here. Great tease by Shawn Michaels. Great comedic relief. He's perfect timing. He's always got great timing. And Bryan goes, well, I'm looking for a fight. And Triple H goes, well, champ. And up comes NXT champion, Adam Cole. So Adam Cole walks up, and Triple H is like, Bryan versus Cole. And Bryan goes, how about you put that NXT title on the line? And Adam Cole goes, all right. Triple H says, fine, tonight. So, we're getting it. We got it. It was great. Adam Cole versus Daniel Bryan. Just the announcement, nips got hard. So, after a break, Mandy and Sonya, Fire and Desire, they come down to the ring. Carmella's music plays. And I'm thinking, well, what were we supposed to get in the sixth woman? Oh, it's going to be Mandy and Sonya versus Carmella and Dana. And Carmella never comes out. And then we get a shot of in the back of Dana Brooke and Carmella being beat up by Bianca Belair. Bianca beats the crap out of Dana. She then picks up Carmella, hoists her over her head, and throws her over some stage cases and stuff. So as that's going on, all of a sudden Rhea Ripley's music plays. And she comes out with Tegan Nox. Ripley basically said, hey, you guys don't have opponents now. We'll be your opponents. So they run down to the ring. Rhea Ripley goes after Mandy Rose. Sonya Deville and Tegan Nox fight at ringside. Finally, see, it looked like at ringside, Sonya had the advantage. She then went to, I guess, throw Tegan over the announce table, but Tegan reverses it, throws Sonya over the announce table. Sonya accidentally kicks Renee in the face. Renee starts going off about, I got a bloody nose. I got kicked in the face, Tom. And so Rhea's in the ring, just beating on Mandy. Tegan gets in the ring, hits her with the shiniest wizard. Rhea then, again, just dominating Mandy. Puts her in that inverted clover, lifts her up, and Mandy has nothing but to tap. And there we go. Now, Soja in the chat is the same question I did. Why was this Rhea and Tegan and not Tegan and Dakota or Rhea and somebody else? And it probably had to do, I don't know this for sure, but it probably had to do with maybe Dakota Kai not being able to get there. Same thing like Luke Might's asking, where was Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly? Maybe they couldn't make it on last minute notice. I mean, there was no Finn Balor, who's now NXT. There was no Johnny Gargano. So they got who they could there is what it felt like to me. Plus, not a knock on Dakota Kai, but I just see her as another girl on the NXT roster. When you're looking at girls that stand out to me, Rhea Ripley and Tegan Nox really, really stand out to me. So after a break, Triple H and Shawn Michaels come down to ringside, and then Stephanie comes out. And basically, Stephanie just says she wants to thank the WWE Universe and everything that they've done getting over the women's evolution and the women's revolution. And they basically recapped what happened yesterday in Saudi Arabia with the Natty Lacey Evans match. So then out would come Daniel Bryan, out would come Adam Cole, and we go to commercial. And then it was great. It was amazing. After the break, with the NXT Championship on the line, we got Adam Cole against Daniel Bryan. So when Cole first came out, Roderick Strong walked out with him on the ramp, and Cole was like, I got this. So they shook hands, whatever. Cole came down, did the whole match by himself. I liked that, because I assumed Undisputed Era running or something, but nope. So Adam Cole comes down to do his ring entrance. Crowd's going nuts. Adam Cole is just a star. These people love Adam Cole, and I loved it when Adam Cole did the boom. What happened? Over there standing in front of the announce table, HBK Shawn Michaels did it with him. Shawn Michaels loves him some NXT. So the match starts off with dueling Adam Cole, Daniel Bryan chants, and they had a really, really great heated match all the way to the end. Bryan had the early advantage with chops in the corner. Cole slowed down the pace and hit it, and then locked on a side headlock. Bryan fought back and rocked Cole with some hard kicks. Bryan worked over the elbow and used a surfboard. He looked right at Triple H and locked in a submission. Cole fought out and hit a boot for a near fall. On commentary, Tom Phillips noted that Cole's competing with a fractured hand, which it's true. Adam Cole's hand is really, not storyline, really hurt. So Bryan then suplexed Cole, but they were too close to the ropes, and Bryan tried to go for the fall, the pin, rope break. After a break, Cole scored a close near fall on Bryan. Bryan followed up with a figure four headlock. Bryan fought back and ran wild. He ran up the turnbuckle and hit Cole with a drop kick. Bryan threw Cole to the floor, and Cole's back hit the apron. Bryan followed up with a missile dropkick and a running dropkick in the corner. Bryan rocked Cole with some uppercuts, but Cole hit a big boot for a 2. Bryan threw Cole out of the ring right in front of Triple H and Shawn. Bryan then hit a suicide dive, but Cole cut him off on the second attempt. After commercial break, Bryan gave Cole a sick-looking German suplex off the top rope. He held on and then went for the diving headbutt, but Adam Cole moved out of the way. Cole then attempted the last shot, but Bryan countered into a half crab. Bryan applied the bell lock, but Cole broke free. Bryan then kicked Cole in the face and used the bell lock again. Cole would make it to the ropes this time. So Bryan then followed up with some yes kicks, but Cole rolled him up for a near fall. Bryan went for the running kicks, and Cole hit him with a super kick, followed up with a Panama Sunrise. Cole will then hit the last shot, pin Daniel Bryan clean in the middle of the ring, and retain his championship. I really didn't expect a clean finish here, to be 100% completely honest. So after the match, all the NXT superstars that were there tonight came down to the ring. We saw the Cruiserweight Champion, Lio Rush. We saw Angel Garza. We saw Ciampa. We saw Matt Riddle. We saw Keith Lee. And they get in the ring, and Triple H said, "We're taking over. We're building an army." And NXT has fired the first shots. So when you build an army, you look to your friends and your family. He's like, Raw and Smackdown, they want a war? Well, they've got a war. And don't forget, we are NXT. And the crowd said it with him. Triple H then put his arms around Shayna Baszler and the NXT champion Adam Cole as the rest of the NXT stars stood there draped over them. And it was phenomenal. So my question is this Raw versus NXT versus SmackDown? Or is this Raw and SmackDown versus NXT? That's the big question, and now we need answered. And before we do wrap things up, I do want to tell you guys that if you want to get one of our PWUnlimited t-shirts, one of our hoodies, cell phone cases, stickers, and so much more. All you have to do right now is head over to bit.ly/store. Head over to the Pro Wrestling Unlimited T Public store where everything is 35% off. That's everything. T-shirts, hoodies, stickers, phone cases, pins, coffee mugs, notebooks, everything. 35% off. Not just our shirts, not just our designs, but the designs of other artists that we also spotlight on our T Public store. So if you get, like you see here in this picture, this Dean Ambrose, or should I say John Moxley cell phone case, or this brand new The Man Becky Lynch Raw Women's Champion t-shirt, you're not supporting us. Well, a little bit, but you're not just supporting us. You're supporting the artist that actually created those designs. And you can get those designs on anything. Again, for the next, I think it's 36 hours, head over to the Pro Wrestling Unlimited T Public store. The link is in the description below. bit.ly/PWU store, and everything is 35% off. So with that, I want to say thank you to everybody who did join us here live to talk about tonight's it was an NXT heavy show, but it was actually tonight's Smackdown Invaded by NXT. I also want to thank everybody who watched later here on YouTube and listened on podcast services all around the world, like Apple Music or iTunes, whatever it's called now, Spotify, Google Play Music, Stitcher Radio, iHeartRadio, and so much more. So with that, I want to say have a good night, guys, and we'll see you later.